maybe you would sing them.
I'm full of blues, and everyone would write their blues verses on napkins and bring them to me, and then I would stand up there and just like sing the verses and fling the napkins all over the room. I wish I had those napkins.
Yeah.
It would be so fun.
I sang for my dad's funeral right here in this church. That pivotal moment in my life, if I could sing for my dad's going home celebration, as we call it, I could do anything.
So I think if I was to put in like a photo, maybe an Ed Tupper photo of what music would be on the Outer Banks, it would probably be a band playing and a local that goes there every single Friday night with their dog, someone drinking a PBR, kids playing skee ball, and maybe someone getting rushed to the ER with a fishing hook in their like
Their lip.
Yeah.
Music is in the water and in the land here and in the people, because there's lovely, spirited, heartfelt people here. So we're here, punching above our weight class.
Some nights I'll just turn my chair and face the water and just tell everybody, like, I'm gonna play to the water tonight. And nobody cares, because we're just relaxed and listening. But being able to just like play the sundown over the water, I feel like that's quite a gift.
In a world of ordinary vacations, live the extraordinary. Book the real Outer Banks.
At a very young age, I became very interested in fishing. We have tremendous fishing here because of our close proximity to the Gulf Stream, so it became a mecca for that. And what I learned over time was I had just as much passion for the boats as I did the fishing.
The local boat building community here in the Outer Banks is sort of an amazing little pocket of talent and history and necessity.
I had a need just like the early pioneers. I needed a new boat, and I figured, well, I'll just build it myself.
Being a yard dog is, anyone who's worked in a boatyard can appreciate that term. Being a carpenter or a craftsman or a tradesman in the marine industry is it's dirty, hard work.
Working with wood is what we all have in common here. It doesn't always go well. Making wood go around these shapes like this, sometimes you break boards and sometimes there's, cussing involved, and it certainly would be no fun if I didn't get to work with my friends every day.
We're probably the largest area in the world for building sport boats right here in Dare County. We certainly stand on the shoulders of our predecessors, You know, if it weren't for the guys that built the $25,000 boats in the 70s that learned how to put flair in a boat and learn this stuff, I don't think we'd be there today without them.
The tradition used to be in the fishing season or the summertime, people would fish and take people fishing. In the wintertime, those mates and captains would build boats.
There's some amazing craftsmen and builders here, fishermen that have been boat builders. It was a necessity for them to build their boats. You know, they were building the boats they were fishing on. And it's really developed over the generations into what it is today.
Now it's a bit more of a booming, world-renowned boat building place. And I would say the credit for that goes to Buddy Davis. I mean, you can go to Puerto Rico, you can go to Italy, you can go to the Azores. Everybody knows of Buddy Davis.
The history of Dare County boat building, for the most part, has been passed down orally from generation to generation with young guys that come into the boat shops. Some of them coming from fishing or commercial fishing into the boat building industry, some of them with carpentry experience, some from other areas. And it's all this passed down information.
I apprenticed with a guy named Robin Smith down here. Started working with him for at least 5 or 6, maybe 7 years before I went out on my own. And become friends with a naval architect who actually designed the first boat that I was involved with building, which was a Robin Smith 65. That guy's name was Peanut, or Glenn Hawk.
Well, the Carolina Flyer itself helps us to run through some really choppy seas. And the modified V hulls, we have a long ways to go, you know, 40 miles, sometimes longer than that. So it was a need for the boat to ride well. We have a unique style, and that's what has propelled this boat.
Boat building, historically, has evolved. So over the generations, what was a local boat building industry has become an international boat building center here, and the level of quality and craftsmanship has increased, you know, to keep up with the pace of the international demand.
I strive to resemble Warren O'Neill and Omi Tillett's boats more than other ones, just because I think that their traditional lines are more in keeping with this area, and they're purposely designed for our rough inlet.
It really is exciting to see one of these boats finished and then look at it and say, what could I do to make it just a little bit better? So that's really exciting to be part of that process. And I really think here on the Outer Banks, well, I know we are. We've been trendsetters for around the world. You know, back in the 70s, our need wasn't nothing like it is now. If you had a boat that would go 20 knots, it was considered a fast boat. And if you had an air conditioner, you were top of the line. Well, that's evolved to something quite different now, where we have boats that are cruising at 40 knots.
You know, the end process of these vessels, it's a culmination of a lot of creative energy coming together, you know, from the owners to the builders to the designers.
You know, it wasn't that long ago I helped my father-in-law, who was a boat builder, and we cut frames out of juniper and plank-on frame construction. Now that's involved to composite carbon fibers and different resins to make the boats lighter, stronger, faster.
People ask me why I don't use foam or Divinysil or these other materials that other builders are using, and it's simply because I like to run my tools through Spanish cedar and juniper. It's a tactile thing.
We embrace modern technologies and materials and, you know, utilizing new tools, computers and automation, CNC work, plotter cutters, things of that nature. It's getting harder and harder to get really good wood, so they're turning to alternatives and alternative methods for the finishes on the exterior of the boats, and that's where we have to, you know, problem solve our way through and figure out how to come up with a solution for something that's sort of in front of us at any given time, and it's always moving forward.
The coolest part of all of it is the lofting part. Up on that mezzanine, those jigs are the form that the boat gets built around. Lofting is a process of taking different views of the boat and combining the measurements of them and then making that in a full scale and then giving birth to a three-dimensional object.
It's a challenge to make the boat look right, sit right, perform right, but that's done over time. You know, there's something besides just the look of a boat that is really important. Every builder has his own little twist or style.
At the end of our process, you know, we put our names on the back of these boats, but the back of the boat is really kind of the front of the boat. When you're walking down the dock, the first thing you typically see is the back of the boat. So when you see the name, it's kind of like seeing the face of the boat. So it says a lot for the whole vessel, sort of the introduction to the boat.
When you build the interior of one of these boats out, it's different than a home or a house. Things aren't square and straight. And we're fortunate that we have some incredible craftsmen, and they get to use some of the finest and rarest woods and materials from around the world.
You know, family heirloom is what I like to think that I'm producing. It really makes me want to build something that is going to last, try to overbuild them and try to make them as durable as possible, knowing that most of my people want to keep that boat and give it to their kids when the time comes. Sometimes with this kind of thing, you feel initially like you're in over your head, but, you know, that's the way all challenges are.
You know, we've got to work with some incredible educated people, naval architects from around the world. I don't know if I would trade all that for the practical experience we've learned over the last 40 or 50 years.
I've got a deck built above the tree line where I can sit up there and watch all of these boats running by in the channel, and I can sit there with my family or whoever's with me and identify the builders of each boats.
The Outer Banks influences me as far as my state of calmness, I suppose, and my peace of mind in my workplace. I get inspiration from all over the place, from nature. It comes from everywhere.
It's not a sideline job, it's a real industry, and it's a lifetime job for a lot of our people.
Everybody, even with the competition, it's a family of people here. It's a small community of boat builders.
For the rest of my life, I want to take more boat rides, and the ultimate boat ride is going to be the longest one, and it's going to be maybe not around the world, but a long, long boat ride.
Treasure memories in Corolla Outer Banks. Go to CorollaNC.com.
Every place has a story. Stories of romance, drama, adventure, stories of life. Find your story at visitcurrituck.com.
Photography in my youth, it wasn't overly accessible to everybody. Now, we all have cameras. We carry them in our hip pockets.
I feel like when I go to pick up a camera, I'm documenting a moment that can't be recreated.
What I like to do is to slow down and to think through, what is it about this minute, this scene, that I want to carry forward in my memory? I'm honing in on the very part of the scene that I want to preserve. And when I choose then to process and print that photograph, hang it on my wall, it brings me right back to that moment.
I remember in January of 2017, looking at my dwindling bank account, and I said, I'm either gonna have to find another corporate job, or I have enough money I could just figure out a way to survive. And I literally just that day said, I'm moving to the Outer Banks.
What motivates me to go out and shoot every day is this quote from Hans Christian Andersen: "The whole world is a series of miracles, but we're so used to them, we call them ordinary things."
People have been coming here for 20, 30 years, and they've never seen the sky. And they had no idea this was right there in their backyard.
I think a lot about the Eden story, metaphorically, for what could have been, not what is, where humans were in harmony with the natural world. And so when I come out into the field with my lens, what I'm looking for are glimpses of the Eden that might have been.
Photography, it all started for me back in late 90s. I was going and buying disposable cameras at Connor Supermarket and just going around and shooting photos of my friends.
My brother, James, gave me my first camera, little Fuji X100. I just started with that, and then it evolved. It like snowballed fairly quickly into just using that camera a lot, but like obsessively shooting everything around me, just daily life and all the people. I was sticking a camera in their face.
Well, what's weird is I've always wanted to be a photographer, but I never owned a camera. So I started tent camping in Rodanthe, and I started kiteboarding and just going back and forth. And all of a sudden, it was in August that year, I was watching a storm go by, and I was just using my cell phone, and it clicked that I was like, you know, I'm never bored when I'm taking photos. I always love it. I'm gonna buy a camera.
My late husband, Pete, used to ask me, he said, well, what if you go and you don't get anything? And I used to say, well, honey, there's 100% chance of no photograph if I don't go.
Now I spend a lot of my time just every day documenting life on the Outer Banks, like what it's actually like to live here. And it's just become just an obsessive passion of mine.
Aycock Brown was this photographer that would photograph life here on Hatteras Island, or the Outer Banks specifically, during the 1950s. If you look at some of his work, like, it's not pretty photos of Hatteras Island. It's like how truly Hatteras was in the 1950s. He wasn't coming in and photographing just pretty scenes. He was coming in and truly showing what it was.
There's like so many characters here and just so many aspects of life, and I just feel like I should capture it as much as possible.
My hope when people are looking at my photos of the Outer Banks is that there's some sort of connection for them, whether it's a landscape of a lighthouse or if it's a portrait of a local person. My hope is that there's some sort of relationship or memory they have from that location, or a memory from a person that they've met here.
One of my hopes in all the photography work that I do and the stories that I share is that folks will get inspired to go home and maybe look at the natural world around them in a deeper way.
So one of my favorite projects that I've been working on here in Dare County is the Hatteras Fisherman Project. Spent like 8 or 9 years riding out with commercial fishermen, just documenting their work.
I like to come in when there's at least enough light to see something, and potentially, of course, to photograph something. So the very first thing I do is roll down both windows, and that way I can hear, I can see. My camera equipment and my body, for that matter, are acclimating to whatever the outside temperature is. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to meld myself into this place and into this atmosphere.
I think it was right before Memorial Day 2017, I learned about the Knights in Rodanthe house. So I crawled in the dunes at 4 o'clock in the morning, hoping no one would get me arrested. And I set my camera up and I took a photo of it, and it was just like, I was hooked. I was like, this is what I want.
Ray Matthews, closest thing I'll ever have to a brother. In my mind and thinking and heart, he was the master photographer here. Over 50 years worth of legacy. And he said that if you want to look for beauty, It's not hard to find here. And it's so true.
When I first started shooting photographs, for me, it was like all about getting like these pretty landscapes and, you know, pretty sunsets. But nowadays, for me, it's more about what this place truly is. And a lot of times it might not seem pretty to other people, but to me, there's some beauty there in those raw moments or in those ugly moments.
I literally had family in town, and we were on the beach at night, and I said, you know, I want to try something. If you'll just stand right there for a second. I set up the camera, and then I hit him with a flashlight, and then I let the camera go, and I'm like, I think I can do portraits with the Milky Way. And I've been working on that actual photograph for about 5 years now.
Instead of like just focusing on the beauty here, it's like, what do the peripherals look like? And so trying to spend a lot of time of like, all right, here's a dumpster in a parking lot that has like no fish written on it, and then there's a boogie board inside with a shark on it. It's like semi-ironic. It's like it's not a pretty photo. It's a photo of a dumpster. Like, it doesn't make sense. But to me, it's like, don't go and photograph the obvious.
I can come out here and there might be a mother bear foraging with cubs halfway back in the field, or a collared red wolf. The long lens shows me that. It will show me things that my eye just can't pick up, and show me details, and show me behavior. And I love that.
I really love the winter here. It's super raw, it's windy, it's usually nasty and cold. At the same time, it lends itself to making beautiful images. And it's not the typical image that you see. It's usually pretty miserable, but at the same time, like, you feel alive because you're bundled up, you're out there in the middle of it. There's nobody around, and you can really just enjoy this place for what it is.
This area is called a refuge because it provides critical habitat for wildlife, but honestly, it provides refuge for my heart and my spirit.
There's times where I can only get the Milky Way lined up for a 20-day period in the fall, and if it's cloudy those 20 days, it's gone forever. So I gotta be ready to get that shot when it's lined up with it. And once that shot's gone, it's gone. But boy, when you can catch it, it's absolutely amazing.
Most of the time, photographers talk about capturing images, about shooting wildlife. I prefer to say, I receive. I receive gifts and moments of presence, of wild animals and wild birds, of the land itself, of the light. I'm not capturing anything in the sense that I'm not trying to go out as a predator. I'm trying to come as someone saying, please, thank you.
Out of the darkness, it still stands, guiding mariners on their way, a beacon of light for all to see. Find your light at visitcurrituck.com.
Head up Highway 12 to where the road ends and you'll find the legendary Corolla Wild Horses, iconic historical sites, unique shopping and dining, outdoor events, and more. Take a day and find yourself here.
We live by the wind here, and they say the only time that it's not blowing is when it's changing directions. There's always a nice surprise in the weather, as well as surprises that aren't so good.
I'll tell you one crazy thing that happened. My dad was still alive, and he comes in, he said, come back here with me, come back here with me, I got something to show you. And he was all excited, and I'm like, what is happening? And he said, look how beautiful. I looked, there was 3 water spouts right behind the restaurant. So we all took off and ran in, and Dad's like, where are you going? You're never gonna see this again.
The weather around here is one of the most complicated things you'll ever have. Recently, I reached out to a meteorologist, and I said, is there any way I can better predict, or is there a better app I should be using? And he goes, no. There's no better app. There's no way to predict it. But it's a part of, like, living here.
The power of weather is amazing. It can knock you to your knees. It can knock you into your seat. It can make you run. And we always cheer for the best days in the world, but we're ready for the worst.
We're in that kind of sweet spot in the mid-latitudes here where we get swells from tropical systems, hurricanes, nor'easters. Hurricanes have more publicity around them. You know, they're named systems. Nor'easters can end up moving slower, and they move a ton of water because they're so large, and that creates a lot of surge and erosion. So they don't get as much publicity, but they can and often do end up doing more damage around here.
There is like this calm before the storm, and then there's this wind switch after the storm that is like no other. I mean, it is the most powerful thing you'll ever experience, and there's an energy behind it. And so for me to experience that for the first time, there's like a sense of like beauty and excitement and also fear, and then there's a sadness.
Hurricane Dorian was our last experience with a major hurricane here. And of course, we knew it was coming. So the Methodist men, of course, tried to get our people organized and ready and so forth. The approaching wind blew all of the water out of the sound and pushed it up on the mainland.
We lived in Kill Devil Hills, and we were about 3 houses up from the sound. The wind came through and just blew all the water out, and it was dry.
I've seen the sound blow all the way out where you could walk across, yep.
And it was kind of strange to look out and see the sound dry. As the eye passed, of course, the wind shifted back around more westerly.
Being young and probably not the smartest thing we did, we decided to walk way out into the water, and then we realized this water is going to come back, and it's going to come back fast. So we got out of there really fast.
And then the water came rushing in.
All the way up to about 2 inches from coming into our house. But right in front of our house, there was capsized boats. There was pieces of docks and piers and all that. But we got out just in time, right before the water came back up. So do not walk out into the sound during a hurricane.
So in September 2020, Hurricane Teddy was off the coast. It was like right at the peak of hurricane season. And that morning I was kind of walking the beach, and I kind of knew like there were a couple of houses that had game rooms underneath and nobody was staying there. So just kind of stepped in, ran inside. I was maybe in there for 5 minutes and just snapped a couple of photos. By that afternoon, I was getting contacted by a bunch of different editors. I think it was hard for people to wrap their heads around like what they were looking at.
I remember going surfing at Avalon Pier. We hit a telephone pole in the water, and we were like, let's get out. This is crazy. Like, we just need to get out.
People here are extremely in tune with the weather. In my opinion, that's a function of the fact that this place relies so heavily on the weather. In a random city or someplace, the weather really doesn't dictate their day-to-day. And here, it absolutely can and does.
Just like my business and anyone else's business, we're all weather-based.
I mean, we worked with hurricanes right over top of us, where I've had the guys literally holding tents down from blowing off the backs of boats. We've had to work and shelter in place on boats during storms.
Typical day for commercial fishermen is rising way before the sun, probably 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. The next thing is to look at the sky, listen to the forecast, and ascertain what the weather is going to be and how long you're going to be able to maybe work that day.
You ask any of my friends or the people that we know out here, we know what tide it is, we know what the wind's doing. We try to figure out what it's going to do, and then we guess 4 or 5 days out.
My relationship with the tides and the currents is of the utmost respect, because I can't drink all that water. It's called the graveyard for the Atlantic for a reason.
Whether it be you're into cycling and the wind is coming out of this direction, it ends up feeling like you're going uphill for miles and miles. Or if you're walking in the woods on a kind of a dreary, foggy day, it just makes it feel really surreal. It's interesting that surfing is kind of the poster child for a directly weather-related sport, but really anything we do here is tied into the weather on a fundamental basis.
We're always ready for that time when we activate our emergency operations center and bring the whole team to bear to be ready to overcome a challenge that we never want to see happen. We have North Carolina Highway Patrol, we have North Carolina DOT, we have the Coast Guard. We have about 30 or 40 people sitting in our emergency operations center, not just sitting there, but taking action on the priorities and the objectives that we have to execute to keep our communities safe.
When you're going down a road and a hurricane comes and somebody's having a hard time, your family goes over and helps them to board up their house. If it's an elderly person, you bring them to your house. When nobody else is coming, you have to be the rescuer yourself.
We kind of integrate with their county emergency management and fulfill one of the important roles of trying to help people save their belongings and help the victims as much as we can. When everyone else leaves, we're here to try to deal with long-term emergencies of all types.
I have learned that we have a resilient community out here. What I worry about is those that don't live here, that may not have that same exposure to the experiences that they've had growing up here. And our visitors need to listen to the locals. We can help you, help yourselves.
Every single day, the view is always changing. The clouds look different. Every sunrise and sunset is completely different. As the winds change throughout the year, those look different. It's always changing.
The sky at night here is special, let me tell you, especially on Hatteras Island where there's very little light pollution. Like seeing the Milky Way, seeing shooting stars, seeing sometimes satellites launched from Cape Canaveral in Florida. These are things you can't really see in the overwhelming majority of the East Coast. It is grounding in a way. We're on this earth in a special location.
To me, the most neatest thing I've ever witnessed, and it was 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago, was when the Shelly Island phenomena developed off at Cape Hatteras. I kept hearing a few people saying that there was a good wave on it, and then as hurricane season approached and late August got here and nor'easters were starting to blow, it was the most magical experience, seeing a true left point break. And the watercolor, every time I went, it was the color of Scope mouthwash, green tropical Tortola water. 3 times I was there for it, and all 3 times I felt like I just came from something magical happened that day. It was cool.
Living in the moment is something that people need to really take advantage of here because it can change drastically. And when the stars align, that's the moment to take advantage of and really to really fulfill your life.
I went out after the worst of the nor'easter winds had abated a little bit to just document the rolled up ocean and the foam. As I was coming down the stairs onto the beach, I thought there was a piece of blue sea glass on the sand. I thought, oh my gosh, blue, that's amazing. All the bubbles were iridescent. It wasn't glass at all. And it reminded me again, even in the midst of loss, of destruction, there's beauty to be found if we look for it.
There is nothing like being here on the Outer Banks once a storm comes and there's like a break in the storm. It's the prettiest sky you can ever see. Just after the storm, how the seagulls come back, the air is clear, it's crisp, it's a cleansing of whatever was going on. And I enjoy that feeling that the world does not center around us. It's what it means to be from here.
what's up?
Yeah, Cyrus. What? Oh, Benny! Benny just got. Oh my God!
There's more to the story at rawobx.com.
Kitty Hawk Surf Company, where life is better on the water. The freshest styles from the top surf brands like Rip Curl, Salty Crew, Roxy, and Pimp Shrimp. Your local shop for surf, skim, skate, and paddle sports. The exclusive Outer Banks Hobie Fishing Kayak dealer, with shops from Corolla to Hatteras. Find a location near you at khsurf.com. Kitty Hawk Surf Company, where life is better on the water.
Better sleep means a better life. That's why Outer Banks Furniture offers Simply Luxe from Mattress Grove. Luxurious handcrafted sleeping comfort that's made in America. Simply Luxe gives you pressure-relieving layers, temperature-regulating airflow, spinal-aligning back support with 5 unique support feels for ultimate comfort. Start sleeping better today. Simply Luxe goes the extra mile to hand-tuft many of its models for unparalleled support and durability. Find the complete collection of Simply Luxe mattresses at Outer Banks Furniture, Milepost 1 in Kitty Hawk.
Jewelry by Gail is celebrating its 47th anniversary this year. In loving memory of Gail Kowalski, this hidden gem is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 5. A shop that has something for everyone, featuring Gail's signature styles, all types of gorgeous jewelry, men's rings, a unique bridal section where you can build your own engagement ring, the Outer Banks' largest pearl selection, and so much more. Come find the perfect look for that special someone at Jewelry by Gail in Nags Head.
The Corolla Wild Horse Fund was formed in 1989 by a group of grassroots volunteers who had a deep concern about the wild horses who have lived here for 5 centuries getting hit by vehicles as the area became more and more developed. We have evolved now to the point where we have full-time staff, and our mission is to preserve and protect the last remaining registered colonial Spanish Mustangs left in the world.
How the wild horses of Corolla found their way onto the Outer Banks has always been a mystery. Karen felt that understanding their origin would help with the process of saving those remaining.
I looked into the North Carolina archives, and there are actually, we benefited because the Spaniards kept very meticulous ship's logs. And many ships that came over here, because this was basically uncharted water, ran aground on sandbars. And in order to lighten the load and refloat the ship, the heavy things went overboard, and one of the heavy things that went overboard was horses. And we know that every Spanish ship that came over to this part of the New World had horses on board. Some of the horses obviously were able to swim ashore because these sandbars that run off the island, the water's very shallow. If you watch people swimming in the ocean, they can be out quite far and only be up to their knees. So, and also there are 2,000 shipwrecks on the bottom of the Outer Banks, all up and down the coast. It's called the Graveyard of the Atlantic. And so it stands to reason that some horses were able to survive a shipwreck and swim ashore, and some are simply left behind when colonies failed. We do not interfere with them in any way unless it is a life-threatening or quality of life issue. We do not supplementally feed them in the winter. They're on their own. They're like deer and any other wild animal that lives here.
I'm the herd manager, so it's my job to actually go out, monitor, assess, count, maintain a healthy herd of wild horses. We have 138 horses here. And from my standpoint, it's very important to be able to evaluate an animal and to make sure that that animal is healthy, and therefore we can make a decision that can benefit that animal if the animal needs care. I think what's unique is the environment in which they live in. They're still horses, but how they get their daily and nutritional needs met is completely different than a domestic horse. So it's not it's not necessarily understanding horses by themselves. It's being able to understand natural resources and the horses and the ecology between the two. People enjoy horses, I mean, hands down. And it's a beautiful sight to see them on the beach, especially if you were to look here and you were to see them adjacent to the water and the ocean. I mean, that's a beautiful sight, and I think everybody would be fortunate to see that. This herd of horses, they're living in an environment that we as people like to enjoy, especially in the summertime. So because of that, people have decided to make some of this their vacation spot or home. And they have acquired the land that the horses reside on. And that's a challenge because when you construct or develop a home, those horses lose resources that they need.
The area at Corolla where the horses have traditionally thrived has become a very popular holiday destination. The beach itself is designated as a highway, with hundreds of holidaymakers as well as locals using it as a thoroughfare. The land adjoining the beach is increasingly being built upon, and as the Outer Banks are separated from the mainland by a wide stretch of lagoon, the wild horses have learned to live amongst the trappings of a modern society.
There is a lot of interaction. And you know, for the most part, I think it goes back to education. People come here to see horses, and they, for the most part, I would say they try to be respectful and give them their space, but I don't think they really have a true understanding of what it means to be a horse here. And so if we could only talk to those horses, we would know a little bit more. I've come to appreciate all breeds of horses versus just one breed of horse. I came from a traditional quarter horse background, but since I've been here, I've been exposed to a unique horse that is definitely hardy. I think what's special about these horses is the environment in which they live in and how they have adapted to that environment. This can be a harsh place to live. In the wintertime, it's very cold. In the summertime, it's brutally hot. We have a lot of insects and biting flies, and I can only imagine if you were to compare these horses to a domestic horse, these horses, they're not cared for like a domestic horse. So it could be a challenge living in this environment. How they've adapted to it is amazing. And then how they've adapted to the people also. That's unique itself.
They're a very adaptable breed, otherwise they still wouldn't be here 5 centuries later. They've survived massive hurricanes, brutal nor'easters, insects, defied the diseases that affect other horses. But now they're having to deal with an influx of people. There are already about 700 homes constructed up there. There are 3,150 platted lots, and on any given day in the summer there can be 3,000 vehicles driving on the beach because the beach is the public road and that's how people have access to their houses. Our goal is to keep them wild and free as long as we possibly can. And that in itself presents a challenge because they are in an area where 70% of the land is privately owned, has been developed to a certain extent, and has the potential for more development as the years go by.
I think if we don't come up with a plan that considers the landscape, the horses, the people, I don't feel comfortable with their future here. Well, if we're going to be stewards of the horse, we need to come up with the solution. It's just like if we were to take on ownership of any other horse, we've decided to take on the responsibility of that animal. So if we're going to manage or take responsibility for these horses, yes, I think we owe them. Because we have deemed ourselves as the stewards of the horse.
Did you know that weed slows reaction time and impairs motor skills and coordination? Weed also disrupts learning and problem-solving skills. Whether you're a basketball player, surfer, skater, or student with other life goals, Outer Banks Hope Coalition reminds you to live life in focus. Don't let weed blur your dreams.
The Christmas Shop and General Store. Personalize your holiday with custom embroidered stockings. Just order at the lobby counter and let our Christmas elves do the magic. Discover our dazzling infinity lights. Check out the barn and stand in awe of the retro vintage Christmas tree surrounded by whimsical ornaments. The General Store has all your sweets, fudge, and unique sauces. So much to see and experience, and it's all waiting for you at the Christmas Shop and General Store.
Connected to mainland North Carolina, yet seemingly a world away, Edenton is known as the prettiest small town in the South. Time passes slowly in the state's first colonial capital. The lure of historic sites, outdoor adventure, and friendly people draws visitors from near and far. Whether by car or boat, let our lighthouse be your beacon to a relaxing getaway on the Albemarle Sound. Find your Eden in Edenton, North Carolina, the South's prettiest small town.
My name's Al Adam, and I'm currently president of the North Carolina Beach Buggy Association. The association was actually chartered in Nags Head in 1964 with a mission of maintaining access for ORVs on the beaches of the Outer Banks and all of North Carolina. The name of our association doesn't truly reflect what we do. Most of our members, our 3,500 plus members, drive pickup trucks or sport utility vehicles, not actually beach buggies per se. The driving on the beach became popular with the advent of commercially available four-wheel drives. That happened in the late 60s to mid-70s. Prior to that, the four-wheel drive industry was mostly military vehicles, which did go back to the early 1900s, but they were rarely seen for public purchase. Prior to four-wheel drive vehicles, many people drove the beaches of the Outer Banks to go fishing, do various things that they enjoyed on the beach. They did it with two-wheel drive vehicles, and they did it by running very low air pressure, maintaining a footprint on the sand, much like putting a snowshoe on in snow, something to reduce the PSI pressure on the sand to give you a flotation. The Hatters didn't have a paved road the length of the island until 1953 or 54. So if you wanted to travel up and down the island to the ferry at Oregon Inlet, you used the beach. And that was done primarily with two-wheel drive vehicles, including a bus service that regularly ran from Hatteras Village all the way up to Oregon Inlet to the ferry. Before the advent of four-wheel drive, if a fisherman wanted to get to his favorite remote spot that wasn't readily accessible by hiking, they would use a two-wheel drive vehicle. It was recommended to bring friends along with you because you were going to get stuck and you need somebody to help push. Four-wheel drive vehicles changed that game. So it's a privilege we like to maintain. We want to do that by promoting good beach driving ethics and by following the rules of the individual agencies that govern different parts of the beaches. It may be county, it may be municipality like Nags Head, It may be the National Park Service like Hatteras Island. The rules that they have are focused on safety and preserving the resource. No driving on the dunes. From a safety aspect, we want to be careful of pedestrians and other vehicles. The speed limit is 15 miles per hour. The single most important factor, air down. Low air will allow you to remain on top of the sand instead of burying in the sand. Please air down before you go on the ramp. We frequently see people stuck on the ramp. That doesn't help anybody. Air down prior to going on the beach. You'll do yourself, your vehicle, and other drivers a favor. Slow and easy wins the day on the beach. When you turn, you want to make as gradual a turn as possible. No sharp turns. Turning your wheel sideways in the sand, you start to plow, and that slows you down and can lead to getting stuck. The only other thing that's always a good policy, unless you're the first guy on the beach for the day, it's fairly safe to follow somebody else's tracks. If somebody else has gone there, they've driven over it, and they're not stuck in the middle of those tracks, there's a good possibility that's a safe place to go. And other than that, slow and steady, low air pressure, you'll have a good day on the beach.
I'm Bo Rayner. I'm a professional surfer, and I've been doing it since I was about 2 years old, and I live in Nags Head, North Carolina. The power of the ocean deserves everyone's respect. Even on calm days, hard to see powerful rip currents are present up and down our coast. Every year, unsuspecting swimmers find themselves in the grip of a rip. Many lose their lives. Such tragic events can be easily prevented with a few local tips. Know before you go and check local beach forecasts before you head out. Always swim near a lifeguard. And if you find yourself caught in a rip current, don't panic. Float, wave, and shout until help can arrive. If you're a good swimmer, don't fight the rip. Swim parallel to the beach to break free of the current's hold. Live like a local, love the beach, respect the ocean.
Text OBX Beach Conditions to 77295 to sign up for daily beach forecast and condition reports. For terms of service and privacy policy, visit obxalerts.com.
Nothing beats a day at the beach, but the power of the ocean deserves everyone's respect, no matter how experienced you may be. My name is Merrick Dabrowski, one of the chief lifeguards for Dare County's beaches. The force of the surf can catch unsuspecting swimmers off guard, and strong rip currents can sweep even the strongest swimmers far away from the safety of the shoreline. Even if you're an experienced swimmer, remember that you're still no match for Mother Nature. Rip currents account for roughly 80% of ocean rescues, but you can prevent yourself from being caught in one by following a few local tips. Know before you go by checking the daily OBX Beach Conditions National Weather Service forecast. 2, always swim near a lifeguard. 3, never swim alone. And 4, watch for red flags and rip current warnings. And if you see another swimmer in distress, notify a lifeguard and call 911. And if you ever feel compelled to assist a family member in distress, be sure to have a flotation device with you. Make sure your Outer Banks vacation is a memorable one for all the right reasons. We want you, your family, and friends to go home safely. Live like a local. Love the beach, respect the ocean.
Queen, and we went down the Roanoke River and just had a great time listening to some nice jazz music and
to meet a lot of nice people, and it was really smooth on the Roanoke, really nice, and you get a view of the town and of the area that you don't usually get to see.
There was jazz, there was birds, there was water. What else do you want?
It was great. Yeah, great view.
Yeah, we saw an osprey, blue heron.
I think
was fun.
Yeah, I
enjoyed
loved it. Great
was
experience.
Very relaxing to sit and like listen to live music while after a long day of like walking up and down the street like 100 times.
Really good time. It was and it was so peaceful. The boat ride was very smooth. Very smooth. And we waved at all the other boats as they went up and down the river, and the Marine Patrol from the other boats didn't even rock the boat because this boat was so big and so heavy. So it was a really smooth ride. We saw deer, saw probably about 100 turtles.
Yeah.
Some of them were big. One was this big. One of the biggest turtles I've seen on the river.
We saw some fish jump out the water. We saw lots of the helicopters go by from the helicopter station.
Yeah, from the helicopter rides.
Recommend it to other folks?
Oh, it was so good. We felt really blessed to get to go on it, really.
Kitty Hawk Kites, celebrating 50 years as an Outer Banks family tradition. For thrilling adventures, lifelong memories, and fun for the whole family. Unique gifts, kites, toys, footwear, and quality brands like Life is Good and Natural Life. Kitty Hawk Kites, a pure Outer Banks family experience since 1974. With locations from Corolla to Ocracoke, find a store near you at kittyhawk.com.
In a world of ordinary vacations, live the extraordinary. Book the real Outer Banks.
Just across the Wright Memorial Bridge on the Currituck mainland, you'll find one-of-a-kind shopping, dining, and recreational experiences await you. Don't let memories you'll treasure pass you by on the road to the Outer Banks. Find your treasure at visitcurrituck.com.
Welcome to Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. You all are going to be climbing the tallest brick lighthouse in North and South America. So we're going to be going up 257 stairs, and it's the equivalent of climbing a 12-story building. So I hope you did your stretches for this morning. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is the fuel storage tank, and this is where they would store all of the kerosene fuel to light the Fresnel lens that was lit up at the top. So the lighthouse keepers, they would have had to carry two 40-pound fuel canisters up the lighthouse with them. So there's 8 landings in the lighthouse, and those were designed for the lighthouse keepers to stop, set their oil tanks down, and take breaks, which is what we're going to do today. So these stairs were all replaced in 2008. They used the original molding, so it looks very similar to the original, but it's the new cast iron. There are alternate landings all the way up throughout the lighthouse, and on each landing there's a window. There's a north-facing view and a south-facing view. So they provided these windows for us because obviously there was no electricity, so it provided a lot of light for the lighthouse keepers, and also to get some nice airflow circulation throughout the lighthouse. The windows during the summer when the lighthouse opens in the 3rd Friday of every April, The maintenance crew will open the windows and they'll stay open all summer long unless we have a big hurricane coming, then they'll come and close the windows. The next landing that we're going to be getting to is the halfway mark. So after this landing, we have 124 more stairs to climb. And you'll notice this piece of railing that is going through the center of the lighthouse. Now it's wired for electricity, but in the olden days we had a Fresnel lens that lit the light. And so there would have been 150-pound weights that would slowly descend through the middle of the lighthouse, and this railing would guide those weights down. So the momentum of those weights falling through the center would cause the Fresnel lens to spin, so it kind of worked as a grandfather clock. We actually had one of the last lighthouse keeper's daughters who grew up here, and she was telling us stories of how her and her sisters would swing from the weights side by side to play inside of the lighthouse, which was really neat. As they were building the lighthouse board wanted this lighthouse to be the most imposing and substantial lighthouse on the continent, if not the world. And so that's why they used only the finest materials to build the lighthouse. So when we get up to this landing, you'll notice the black slate and the white marble. That is on all of the landings. And so if you look really closely, you can see actually some fossils in the black slate. And then the base of the lighthouse was mined from a quarry in Vermont, and it's all granite on the base. So the lighthouse keepers had many jobs in the lighthouse, and one of them was giving tours to local residents. When the lighthouse was electrified in 1934, everybody wanted to come and see the electric light in the lighthouse. And so our last lighthouse keeper we had, Mr. Unaka Jeanette, he wrote in his journal that he gave 17 tours to locals throughout the day. So can you imagine climbing up and down the lighthouse 17 times in one day? You can see that the paint is chipping along the walls here. Typically every 5 years the lighthouse gets painted, and it was last painted in 2014. They used 450 gallons of paint to do that. The final staircase is a little bit different. There's no handrails, and there's a door that leads to up on the balcony, and this door was used for really gusty days or during storms. The lighthouse keepers could close that. That way the gusts coming up through the lighthouse wouldn't blow out the oil lamp. The lighthouse is still in operation to this day. We have a 7.5-second flash, and the light goes out into the ocean about 20 miles on a clear day. And it's still used as a second form of navigation, although a lot of mariners these days are using GPS in more modern form. This still serves as a confirmation for local fishing boats and mariners out at sea. And now we're entering to where the pedestal once stood. So the Fresnel lens would have been 12 feet high by 6 feet wide, and the base of it would have been right here where this table was. And this is closed to the public. Only the Coast Guard is allowed up there to change the bulbs twice a year. The bulb that is in the lighthouse now is 800,000 candle power. It's a 1,000-watt halogen bulb, and one bulb costs $240 to replace. We have now made it to the top, so welcome. This summer is really unique because we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the lighthouse being moved here at Cape Hatteras National Seashore. And when you're up on top of the balcony, you can actually see where the lighthouse used to sit in its original location and the moving path that the lighthouse took to get here. So the lighthouse used to sit, if you can see that brown structure going into the ocean over there, that's the groin. There were a series of 3 of those built to help restore the beaches. And the lighthouse sat right in front of that first groin, right behind that grassy sand dune. You can kind of see a big sandy area. And this clear cut through the trees right here is the moving path that it took to get from all the way over there to right here where we are today. It was a 23-day long journey to move it 2,900 feet, so just over a half of a mile. 20 years ago, everything was moved, not just the lighthouse. So if you look down, you can see the two homes where the lighthouse keepers once lived. All of those buildings were moved as well, along with the sidewalk. So everything's in proportion to how it was set up in the old location. In the new location, it was put about 1,500 feet away from the ocean. And back in 1870, when this lighthouse was built in the old location, it was about 1,500 feet from the ocean then. And now you can see just how close the ocean is. So it's possible with Barrier Island migration and how these islands move, that in the next 80 to 100 years, we may be facing the same situation we did 20 years ago. You get a really great shot of Cape Point over here, and this was pretty much the main reason why we needed such a tall lighthouse in the area. We have two really major currents that are basically meeting right over there at the point. We have the Labrador current that's flowing north to south with the really cold water, and then of course we have the Gulf Stream that is flowing south to north with that really warm water. And with those currents, they push a lot of sand and sediment, which builds underwater sand mountains basically. And some of these sand mountains can be about 250 feet high under the water. So mariners would be in really deep water, and then all of a sudden the bottoms of their boats would hit these big shoals under the water. And so this area out here is called the graveyard of the Atlantic because so many ships wrecked out along the shore here of the Outer Banks. We really hope to see you in person here on the grounds. The lighthouse is open for climbing daily until Columbus Day, October 14th. We are open 9 o'clock is the first climb every day, and you have to be here by 4:30 to get your last climb at 4:40 of the day. So thanks for visiting, and we hope to see you soon.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich coastal and maritime history. Here in Corolla, on the edge of the Atlantic, where roads give way to endless water, legendary local craftsmen designed and built these boats and taught generations of Northeast North Carolinians how to take to the sea and sound to find prosperity. From duck hunting, to fishing, to guiding, to saving lives off the coast. These hardy people both endured and celebrated life on the water. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the stories of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the enduring legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters here. Discover the newest addition to historic Corolla Park. Find yourself here. Visit CurrituckMaritimeMuseum.com.
Hello, Santa here. Did you know that the Christmas Shop and General Store has the largest display of Christmas gifts and ornaments on the Outer Banks? From nutcrackers and collectible Santas to snowing Christmas trees and personalized ornaments, there's something for everyone. Discover a room full of pet-themed gifts and a breathtaking nativity display. It's a magical destination that brings joy to so many. We can't wait to see you at the Christmas Shop and General Store.
We have a basic human need to feel connected to nature, to the idea of something bigger, to one another. The Outer Banks of North Carolina, a chain of barrier islands shaped by wind and water, connected by the elements, just open spaces and endless possibilities.
Kitty Hawk Surf Company, where life is better on the water. The freshest styles from the top surf brands like Rip Curl, Salty Crew, Roxy, and Pimp Shrimp. Your local shop for surf, skim, skate, and paddle sports. The exclusive Outer Banks Hobie Fishing Kayak dealer, with shops from Corolla to Hatteras. Find a location near you at khsurf.com. Kitty Hawk Surf Company, where life is better on the water.
Do we mark time by what comes before and after? Or is it this moment and what we do with it that truly matters? The Outer Banks of North Carolina starts every day with an open invitation to explore, to pursue unknown outcomes, and challenge curiosities, to stir the soul with open spaces and endless possibilities.
I'm Barry Price for the town of Nags Head. Have you recently moved to Nags Head from outside our area and want to become a little more familiar with some of our unique cultural norms and what you can expect from life here on the OBX? Well, you're in luck. I'm here to show you how you can be as unique as the rest of us here. Here on the Outer Banks, we don't have a lot of streets, but we do have a lot of names for them. For example, I'm here at Nags Head's Dowdy Park at 3005 South Croatan Highway, AKA US 158, AKA the bypass. Well, what does the bypass bypass, you ask? Well, when it was first built, Croatan Highway was designed to detour traffic past the main business districts, then lining the busy Virginia Dare Trail, AKA NC-12, AKA the Beach Road. Catch my drift? Ah, the milepost markers. Starting at milepost 1 near the Wright Memorial Bridge, the mileposts make it easier for newcomers to find businesses on the northern Outer Banks. But now that you know the difference between the bypass and the beach road, you likely won't need those milepost numbers anymore. Plus, they aren't much help in an emergency when first responders need an actual address to find you quickly. By the way, be sure to pass this tidbit along to your friends and family. Knowing the addresses of where you are, even when on the beach, is really important if there's an emergency. Dispatchers will be able to get help to you much quicker than if you say, I think I'm near milepost 16. Our beaches are some of the best on the East Coast, perfect for everyone to enjoy. But have you ever noticed that on some days the water is warm and clear, and on other days, well, the water is nearly frigid? That's upwelling. On the Outer Banks, upwelling happens when a strong offshore wind, like the southwest breezes we have here during the summer, pushes the warm surface water out to sea, allowing deeper, colder water to well up from below. Now that you're a Nags Head local, you can impress others with this kind of information. Speaking of the ocean, as an Outer Banker, you need to know how to spot and survive a rip current. And don't forget to share this information with friends and family. Remember, when red flags are flying, swimming in the ocean is prohibited. Check out lovethebeachrespecttheocean.com for more information on rip currents, or ask one of our lifeguards before heading in for a dip. If you see smoke plumes rising into the sky in late winter or early spring, chances are the smoke's coming from a prescribed burn on undeveloped public land nearby. These burns are used to keep the land's ecosystems healthy and our area's homes, businesses, infrastructure safe. Hurricanes are a fact of life here on the Outer Banks. Before every relative and friend calls you to ask about hurricanes bearing down on your new home, make sure you're prepared. What do I mean? Well, get your information from trusted official news sources, not John's weather forecasting or social media pages that just want to get you riled up. Instead, monitor the National Hurricane Center's website at nhc.noaa.gov, and for local weather forecasts, visit the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Newport Moorhead City's website at weather.gov/MHX. Follow the town of Nags Head, nagsheadnc.gov, and Dare County Emergency Management, darecountyem.com for local information, and sign up for their emergency alerts. Have your hurricane evacuation kit already prepared.
Know your evacuation zone and route and where you plan to evacuate to. Be sure you have identification you need to return to Dare County, such as re-entry permit from Dare County Emergency Management. Visit their website, darecountyem.com, for more information. So there you have it. Let's keep these unique cultural norms between us, okay? Oops, I forgot one. Google sonic booms and then Google Seneca guns. You choose which one you want to believe. Welcome to Nags Head. Welcome to paradise.
Take a tour of an Outer Banks icon and experience what life was like here in the Roaring 20s. Whalehead in historic Corolla Park is a beautifully restored Art Nouveau masterpiece and museum located on the Currituck Sound. For tour information, go to visitwhalehead.com.
There were two different means of rescue. One these stations utilized. One was to launch a surf boat. The other is called the beach apparatus drill. What the beach apparatus drill consists of, a beach cart with a lot of lines and all this equipment, which is pulled out to the beach. They could fire this small cannon called a Lyle gun, and it could be fired out to the ship with a small line attached called the shot line.
So they would try to get the line up in the rigging so where somebody can grab it, tie it off, and then we can start pulling the other line. And once all those things are tied off, the whip line is attached to the pulley system so that the breeches buoy can come back and forth with the victims that are in it.
From about 1871 until 1954, when these stations were decommissioned and helicopters started sort of taking over, this means of rescue was used in the attempt to rescue about 178,000 people. The beach apparatus drill that we do here at Chickamaucomico, we always strive to be as close as we can to 100% historically accurate. It is a reenactment of the training that they did to prepare themselves for a rescue. But just like they did, we do it on Thursday afternoons at 2 o'clock. If you have kids between the ages of about 6 and 10 or 11 years old, when you come down here, there's a chance one of your kids may be chosen to ride in the breeches buoy. We rescue a kid every week.
Did you know that weed slows reaction time and impairs motor skills and coordination? Weed also disrupts learning and problem-solving skills. Whether you're a basketball player, surfer, skater, or student with other life goals, Outer Banks Hope Coalition reminds you to live life in focus. Don't let weed blur your dreams.
What lies beneath the surface? The waters of the Outer Banks share their secrets one cast at a time. Total relaxation. Absolute exhilaration. The Outer Banks of North Carolina, a chain of barrier islands shaped by wind and water. Connected by the elements. Just open spaces and endless possibilities.
Despite what you've heard, 911 cannot locate you immediately when calling from a cell phone. Do you know the street address of your location in the event of an emergency? When you call 911, we don't either, unless you can tell us.
Thomason, and I work at the NC Aquarium on Roanoke Island, and I work in the Education Department and Special Activities, and I work with our box turtles pretty much on a daily basis. And in case you're wondering what is a box turtle, it is a type of reptile we find here in North Carolina. The species is found all across the NC state, and he is actually an eastern box turtle. And some fun facts about box turtles is they can actually go inside their shell, so he has a very special adapted trait. And it actually goes back to the 3 body parts to their shell. So the top part, we're going to call it the carapace. All right, you can see that nice defined vertebrae. The bottom we're going to call the plastron. All right, and it's the plastron that allows him to have a hinge that allowed the turtle to go completely inside. So that's his head, his arms, and his legs. And then lastly, what connects the two is called the bridge. And box turtles, they're really cool. You might find them in your backyard or in the forest. They are along the bottom looking for different type of food. They are omnivores, meaning they eat both plant and meat, but not a cheeseburger. These guys will actually eat a lot of insects like crickets, worms. Their favorite color will be red. So here at the aquarium, we feed them lots of tomatoes, strawberries, raspberries. That color just kind of draws them in. And box turtles have a couple of threats that they might face out in their habitat. The first one could be a type of maybe pollution. So pollution could be trash pollution, could be also their habitat loss. They no longer have their habitat to kind of go about and find food and have space and make lots of babies. And the last thing could be road mortality. So as the females, 'tis the spring season, they're out of their bromation period. They're gonna come up and they're gonna be wanting to lay their eggs on any type of land. And when that happens, sometimes they have to go over a road here at a developed island. So sometimes they might get hit by a car. If you see a box turtle trying to cross the road, what you can do is maybe with an adult with you is to help the turtle go to the side it's trying to get to. All right, if you're trying to put him to the opposite side, he's just gonna come right back over. So make sure if you see a turtle, make sure you have a parent with you and get him back over to where she's trying to go or he is trying to go. Another good thing is we like to say, let wild be wild. As turtles, they're really cute, but many of them do belong out in the wild in their habitat. They do play an important role in the ecosystem. So what you'll wanna do is make sure that they stay in their habitat if you do find a baby box turtle or an adult box turtle, because their habitat is like their home. Come on over to the NC Aquarium on Roanoke Island and learn much more about these turtle species like our box turtle, and we thank you guys for watching.
Jewelry by Gail is celebrating its 47th anniversary this year. In loving memory of Gail Kowalski, this hidden gem is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 5. A shop that has something for everyone, featuring Gail's signature styles, all types of gorgeous jewelry, men's rings, a unique bridal section where you can build your own engagement ring, the Outer Banks' largest pearl selection, and so much more. Come find the perfect look for that special someone at Jewelry by Gail in Nags Head.
Hi everyone, I'm Claire and welcome to Wright Brothers National Memorial.
This is Fort Raleigh National Historic Site.
And Cape Hatteras National Seashore.
And welcome to the national parks of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. There's so much to do and see here, so let's check it out. Here at Wright Brothers National Memorial, we explore the story of Wilbur and Orville Wright, two brothers from Dayton, Ohio, who, through experimentation, hard work, dedication, perseverance, a little bit of failure, and a lot of learning, managed to fly the first ever controlled, powered, manned, heavier than air plane. Wilbur and Orville made the arduous journey here from Dayton, Ohio between 1900 and 1903. For the first 2 years, they were living in a tent. In the second 2 years, they were in a shack, and they actually had a kitchen to cook on. For the first 3 years that they were here, they weren't even doing any flying experiments. They were just gliding, trying to manage the control in the air. So they would jump off of Big Kill Devil Hill right behind me and try to get as far as they could. And finally in 1903, they decided that they had mastered control and they were going to move on to powering this thing. So they built an engine, they created propellers and put it onto their flyer. And it was finally on December 17th, 1903 that they made that successful first flight. Aviation technology took off in leaps and bounds after this first flight in 1903. Soon we were crossing the English Channel and then crossing oceans. Then we were flying around the world. And then we're into space. We go to the moon. Now we're on other planets. The Wright brothers' dream of getting into the air and pushing the limits on what was possible has inspired millions of people. Neil Armstrong, when he was on the moon, had in his pocket a piece of the original 1903 Wright brothers flyer, and now we have it in the museum today. And in fact, there's so much to do here. We have the museum, which explores the full story of the Wright brothers. We have the flight room with the reproduction of the 1903 original flyer. We also have the reconstructed camp building, so you can see what it would have been like to live and work here in the fall on the sand dune. We have the first flight boulder that marks the exact spot that Orville took off from the very first time. We have the monument at the top of Big Kill Devil Hill, the Art Deco style granite monument, on the same hill where they did their gliding experiments from. On the other side of the hill, we have the first flight sculpture, which was put in for the centennial of the first flight. And this is life-size, and you can walk among the people that were there that day, and it really captures the emotions well. There's so much to do and learn here, so hopefully I'll see you soon.
Here at Fort Raleigh, this is the site of the first English settlements in North America. If you've heard of Jamestown, if you've heard of the Pilgrims, this is the beginning of the story here. This is also the place where Algonquin people had lived for 800 years before they met and interacted with the English immigrants. This is a site during the Civil War where over 3,500 African Americans made their way to Roanoke Island and built what we call a freedmen's colony as they made their journey on the Underground Railroad. This is a place where you can step back in time and try to imagine what life was like. Can you imagine being an English colonist and stepping on board a wooden vessel, a small wooden vessel, and sailing for 3 months across an ocean to an unknown land? Can you imagine having lived here your whole life as an Algonquian, all of a sudden seeing these newcomers arriving and interacting with these different people from a different place? Can you imagine what it would be like for one of the Freedmen's Colony members to set foot on Roanoke Island and gain their freedom for the very first time? Fort Raleigh has a lot of different activities that you can enjoy. There's trails that you can walk. There are 2 soundside beaches that you can enjoy. There's a visitor center that has artifacts dating over 400 years old that have been found here in the park. There's ranger programs. You can join us and try to learn a little bit more about the Lost Colony and see if you can uncover that mystery for yourself. There's also picnic grounds and an outdoor theater called the Lost Colony Outdoor Drama. So if you're visiting in the summertime, you can come see Broadway outside.
Here at the seashore, we have 70 miles of beaches. And so most people who come to the seashore like to engage in beach activities, whether that's swimming, shell collecting, or just sunning themselves on the beach. But there's so much more to do here on the seashore than just what you typically would think of. Here at Hatteras National Seashore, there's so much cultural history that people don't realize, whether that be lighthouses and the light keepers themselves and their amazing history, life-saving stations, some of the war activity that's taken place from Civil War to World War I, World War II, all the way down to Blackbeard, the pirate. Is kind of Ocracoke Island was kind of a little home area for him, and that's actually where he perished. So there's plenty of things to learn about, but it's also not just history. There's a lot of nature and natural stuff to be able to do, whether that be sound side or ocean side. We have a lot of nesting shorebirds, and so people will come and check out those birds. But maybe even more popular is in the summertime the sea turtles, mostly loggerhead turtles, but there's a couple others. They come and nest here, and whenever those baby turtles kind of come out, and we call it a boil because there's so much activity, it's almost like a pot of water boiling. But to be able to see those little sea turtles race towards the beach is something spectacular. There's so much to do and learn here.
Whether you like to learn about history or science, like to get out and explore, like fishing or swimming, or just like to sit and relax, there's sure to be something exciting for you to do here in the national parks of the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Treasure memories in Corolla Outer Banks. Go to CorollaNC.com.
Every place has a story. Stories of romance, drama, adventure, stories of life. Find your story at visitcurrituck.com.
With jet skis, there's no seat belts, no airbags, no nothing to keep you safe, all right?
Okay.
So if you drive it safe, you'll be safe, all right?
Perfect.
All right, cool.
I can be safe.
All right, cool. I can be safe.
All right. Oh, gosh. That's it? Yep.
As a lifelong adventurer, I've learned that amazing experiences can be found just about anywhere. Sometimes they're epic, sometimes they're humbling, and almost always they're about the people you meet along the way. Whether it's air, water, or land, join me as I explore new places and help you find your next adventure. This episode of AWOL is brought to you in part by Visit Currituck Outer Banks, North Carolina, and our friends at All Trails. All Trails, your guide to the outdoors. Along the northernmost coastal region of North Carolina, you'll find yourself in Currituck County. Separated by an inland sound, the Currituck mainland, Knott's Island to the north, and its barrier islands on the coast are connected by a labyrinth of waterways, a handful of bridges, and only 2 main roads. This portion of the Outer Banks is known for sun and fun-filled vacations. And oh man, the beauty that surrounds the abundant nature preserves and protected game lands you'll find here, it kind of makes sense why Currituck has been a destination for travelers from all over the world. I'm here to uncover the adventures in the air, land, and sea of Currituck County, to find out what draws people here for a week or a lifetime, and to take in the salt-filled air and fleeting beauty before the wind and the sea reclaim this shifting landscape. You can easily drive to Currituck County from the west, north, or south. However, I'm choosing to do something a bit more unique to visits to the Outer Banks. I'm taking the ferry from Knott's Island across the Currituck Sound, where I'll get my first taste of what Currituck has to offer and greet the new day on the water.
It's a good morning here. We're in Lower Currituck at the Currituck County Rural Center, and I'm meeting up with Ben and some of his friends. We're going to see the sunrise on the water on a kayak, on one of these guys, and it should be pretty. Thank you. See you later, world.
Good morning.
Get that rhythm going.
So this is a campground for the people who are kayaking the coast. This is a designated point to camp along the way.
I would have never thought to like paddle down the coast.
You know, it's a thing, you know, just like hiking the Appalachian Trail, there's people that kayak the coast. This area we're at right now is not known for fishing, it's known for duck hunting.
Really?
Yeah, and this is some of the most prized duck hunting land in all of North America.
Huh.
And that's really, the name Currituck is from the Native American term, which is Coratank, which means wild geese. That's why you don't see a lot of development in Currituck, because they're trying to protect these wildlands to keep the wildlife here so they can continue to hunt fish and have their farms.
It's kind of interesting to like the hunting and fishing is kind of what keeps the interest to preserve the nature and everything like that.
Big time, yeah. It's kind of a, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I do community outreach through the North Carolina Coastal Federation.
Oh, that's awesome, yeah.
We do. It's mostly more inland at-risk youth. It's called Youth Rise Up. And that's where I was getting, where I have kids that have never been in the water in their life, total phobia, can't swim, kids that like never been in boats, come from just shattered homes, you name it. But it's all basically kids, and I say kids are all the way up to 21 years old, that have had their backs against the wall from day one.
I mean, I hate to like be super biased to like the outdoors, but like that can like change someone's life.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
So we're gonna cruise this way. We just go around the island, just kind of cruise, let the winds. Once we get around the bend, I think the wind's just gonna kind of put us in cruise control.
Man, I think we got up at like 4:30 to make it over here. But when you see that sunrise come up over the sound, it's definitely worth it. It's beautiful here.
Outer Banks Furniture is the leather expert on the beach and the only furniture store exclusively offering Omnia leather, with almost 200 different colors and styles to choose from. With unmatched design, comfort, and luxury, Omnia leather only sources hand-picked top-grain hides from the oldest tanneries in the world, then creates the finest chairs, sofas, recliners, and accent pieces right here in the USA. Find the exceptional collection of Omnia leather exclusively at Outer Banks Furniture, Milepost 1 in Kitty Hawk.
Most golf courses try to take their design from their surroundings. Seascape Golf Links is no exception. What is exceptional, though, is how the sand dunes and maritime forest combine to create beautiful, playable coastal links. With dramatic elevation changes and ocean views. Seascape Golf Links, an 18-hole championship golf course, milepost 2.5 in Kitty Hawk. Call for tee times and ask about midday specials. 261-2158. 261-2158. Seascape Golf Links, a must-play for those who love the game.
The waterways that connect Currituck County bend and twist their ways through the landscape, but it's a bit hard to get a true appreciation for their number and scale from the ground. To get a bird's eye view and finally experience the air in AWOL for the first time, I'm stopping at an open field along Route 158 to meet up with Andy Thompson, a professional hang glider with Kitty Hawk Kites.
I started flying hang gliders in 2010, so it's about 9 years I've been flying now.
Okay.
Pretty much full time.
What on earth made you decide to start flying around in this thing?
Just a little sense of adventure, I think. Just an escape from the real world to get up in the sky and see things from the bird's eye view.
Yeah.
So here we're in the flatlands, so we're not running off any mountains. Okay. We do have this ultralight here. It's called a Dragonfly. It's specifically built to tow hang gliders up. And then my job as piloting the hang glider is just to stay behind the airplane.
Stretch out and flop right on top of Andy.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, wind us up. Let's go.
Bye-bye.
Short roll across the ground. You can get some speed going.
Ooh, weird. Oh,
and we're out of here.
Oh, this is this is weird.
Doesn't take too long to leave the ground behind, does it? All right, up and over the clouds.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, beautiful up here.
Oh, that's so rad. Oh man.
Awesome view down the beach though. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
it is.
Really cool. 3, 2, and 1.
Ooh.
Watch out.
Oh my gosh, these. Oh, oh, that's nutty.
You won't stop for a while. So let's see, why don't you put your hands right up here on these bars where mine are. Pulling in, moving weight forward, trying that. Don't be so gentle, a little more. There you go. Slowly relax the pressure, move weight back. Good, back to neutral. Excellent. Let's start with a little bit of pulling in, and then pull that right bar towards your right shoulder and relax.
Okay.
That's it, and that's all it took for a right turn.
Oh, weird.
Now you totally go to neutral and try to come out of that right turn. So left hand, left shoulder, hold pressure on that until you feel everything start to balance out and level out. So why don't you give me a 360 to the, let's go to the left. So
Okay.
pull weight over to the left, we'll do a full circle all the way around.
All right, full circle.
There you go.
Is that right?
Yeah, now just relax. All right, you ready for a little adventure?
Let's go for it. Woo! Oh, God. Woo! Oh, that was nuts.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
No, that was so good. That was so
I've been
good.
waiting for that for a while.
Oh, man. I wasn't sure what was happening.
Damn. Nice. That was some soft landing.
Thank you. All right, how about that?
That was good. Oh, man.
Good time?
Yeah.
Nothing like flying like a bird.
Right?
Man, it was super surreal, actually. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. That was sweet. Yeah, you got to do it. You just have to do it.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, Cyrus. What? Oh, Vinny! Vinny just got, oh my gosh.
There's more to the story at rawobx.com.
Around the corner from the Albemarle Sound, Edenton Bay provides a scenic backdrop to its namesake town. Once a port for North Carolina's first colonial capital, today the waters attract travelers looking for calm, not commerce. And Edenton welcomes boaters with free boat slips for 2 nights. Whether by sea or land, let our historic lighthouse guide you to a relaxing bay that's a world away. Find your Eden in Edenton, the South's prettiest small town.
Welcome to Jeanette's Pier, the family fishing spot on the Outer Banks. Make memories for a lifetime while reeling in the catch of the day. From bottom fishing for spot and croaker to jigging for bluefish and Spanish mackerel, experience the thrill of catching a fish from this 1,000-foot-long concrete ocean fishing pier located at milepost 16.5 in Nags Head. Have fun in the sun while fishing with your friends and family. Surf, sun, fish, and fun. Experience it all at Jeanette's Pier, where fishing is catching.
Kitty Hawk Kites is the adventure center for everything fun on the Outer Banks. Over 25 Outer Banks adventures to choose from. Thrilling experiences. Moments that last a lifetime. Fun for the whole family. Kitty Hawk Kites, celebrating adventure on the Outer Banks for 50 years. Find a Kitty Hawk Kites adventure near you at kittyhawk.com.
Good morning, world. We're hanging out and we're going to go surfing today on Corolla. Just riding over to meet up with my new friend, Phil. He's gonna take us surfing. I think he's bringing some friends along. And yeah, it's a good way to start.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on?
Not too much. Welcome, welcome. How was the ride in?
Pretty awesome.
Nice.
You guys ready to go surfing today?
Yeah, man, I'm ready. We got a bunch of boards. We got some good swell coming in. We're gonna have a fun day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let me park this bike and we can roll out.
Cool, let's do it.
I'm not articulate like you.
We're just gonna keep driving here for a while and try to find a spot where nobody's hanging out so we can kind of have it to ourselves. That hopefully is right in front of, I guess, like a sandbar, and that's making sweet ass waves. Oops.
This actually used to be where the sound was. So this was all marshland.
No way.
Yeah, and because of like the Outer Banks is like shifting barrier island, this is now the ocean.
I'm not articulate like you. I swear I know how you value these words, but I cannot make poetry out of feelings like you do.
So here's the thing. I love to surf. I've just never claimed I was any good at it. I think it's best to hand it over to the locals.
It seems like all the people you guys are hanging out with, they're like transplants too. They came down here and found paradise.
They actually call us the Island of Misfit Toys.
Everybody in Corolla?
Kind of, yeah.
I've had people on kayak tours this year that was already asking me if I would be back next year.
They want to see you again.
I guess.
You're their friend now.
I am.
When people come here, like, y'all make memories for them.
Yeah, live a week like how we live a week, you know? We like to try to be as positive and spread as much cool stuff as possible. Almost take this place for granted.
Never. My aunt sent me this card, and on the front it was like, hope you found your happy place. And inside she wrote, I know you did. That really pulled my heartstrings. It's like, yeah, I did.
In a world of ordinary vacations, live the extraordinary. Book the real Outer Banks.
Discover the Dovetail Collection by Vaughn Bassett exclusively at Outer Banks Furniture. Made in the Virginia mountains using solid American white oak, Dovetail wood joinery dates back thousands of years. The collection is designed for those who appreciate the natural look of reclaimed wood with its cracks, knots, and bold grain patterns. Each piece is available in 3 finishes and is meticulously crafted for exceptional strength to give you long-lasting beauty. Find the Dovetail Collection from Vaughn Bassett exclusively at Outer Banks Furniture, Milepost 1 in Kitty Hawk.
No visit to the Christmas Shop and General Store would be complete without a visit to the wine cellar. So come see me, Joey, where we offer free wine tastings Monday through Sunday from 11 to 5 p.m. Here at the Christmas Shop and General Store, we offer O'Reilly's Country Cream. If you like Bailey's, you really should try some of this. We've got it in original butterscotch as well as salted caramel. Come by and try some today here at the Christmas Shop and General Store, where we're not just a wine store, we're a wine experience.
The sport of kiteboarding is unique among the board sports. It harnesses the wind to fuel the need for adventure in a complex symphony of gear and nature that takes years to master. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enthusiastically terrified to try it out, which is why I'm trusting the small cadre at Corolla Kiteboarding, Steven, Matt, and Pat to show me the ropes. I've never done this before, so I'm excited. I'm actually a little nervous. I'm curious of how many times it's going to take me to try before I can actually stand up and go. I'm going to get three tries, maybe 4. No more than 4.
So what's the story? Are there a bunch of kiters up on this end of the beaches?
No, it's me, my girlfriend, Matt, and then our main instructor, and that's it. There's so many surfers up here. You can wait a lot longer than you will be waiting for wind, because there's wind here all the time.
I'm actually really nervous still.
was the hardest thing I've ever done in the water, period. That was harder than it all. Super awesome being out here with them though.
Tide's starting to come in now.
What's up, guys? Looks like you found a good spot for it. Yeah!
Hey! I seen on it.
There's more to the story at rawobx.com.
Better sleep means a better life. That's why Outer Banks Furniture offers Simply Luxe from Mattress Grove. Luxurious handcrafted sleeping comfort that's made in America. Simply Luxe gives you pressure-relieving layers, temperature-regulating airflow, spinal-aligning back support with 5 unique support feels for ultimate comfort. Start sleeping better today. Simply Luxe goes the extra mile to hand-tuft many of its models for unparalleled support and durability. Find the complete collection of Simply Luxe mattresses at Outer Banks Furniture, Milepost 1 in Kitty Hawk.
My time in Currituck isn't over just yet, but to make a filling end to my journey, I've planned a gathering with some of the new friends I've made. We're keeping the flavors local and fresh, from the fresh crabs, local craft beer, as well as fresh baked goods and other produce. It should make for a tasty thank you to toast the end of my adventure on the coast.
Awesome. And it's fresh. It is still warm.
The Currituck Sound is 30 miles long, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. To get the express tour, I'm meeting up with Currituck native Leah Twyford and canine concierge Winnie the Dock Dog at Corolla Water Sports for another first for me.
Cool. We sorted? That one yours?
That one's mine.
That one? Okay, okay. Oh gosh.
Ready? Follow me. In Currituck County, you're at the Whalehead Club and the Lighthouse. Basically what the Whalehead Club is a historical house. A man built it for his wife when she wasn't allowed into one of the hunt clubs. And stories have been told that it's haunted. I myself I haven't witnessed anything.
You haven't seen any of the ghosts?
No, I've heard about them, that's about it. Yeah, and the lighthouse, 214 steps. Climbed it when I was in 4th grade. Went there on a field trip. But it's really beautiful. Very blessed to grow up in a place like this, for sure.
Absolutely. Where can we get it?
You want to go to Monkey Island?
Let's go to Monkey Island.
Cool.
Monkey Island.
Monkey Island.
Whoa! Am I the only one getting soaking wet here? It's like I'm getting soaked and you're dry.
No, I'm getting soaked.
So your family's lived here for a long time?
Yeah, my great-grandfather, Roland Twyford, came over here with my great-granddaddy George Twyford and his wife. But they were basically the caretakers of the island. They would take people duck hunting, fishing. They took care of the houses, the land, everything. And like I said, the land used to come all the way out to the bulkheads. You can see, like, when we go back around the island, there's still a house there. All of it's coming down, and basically the water is washing the whole island away.
Do you think this is kind of like a picture of that life out here is kind of like short-lived? Like, you know, you may not have this forever?
Yeah, it makes me sad talking about it, but definitely over the next, 25 years, this isn't gonna be here anymore.
Yeah.
Kitty Hawk Kites, celebrating 50 years as an Outer Banks family tradition. For thrilling adventures, lifelong memories, and fun for the whole family. Unique gifts, kites, toys, footwear, and quality brands like Life is Good and Natural Life. Kitty Hawk Kites, a pure Outer Banks family experience since 1974. With locations from Corolla to Ocracoke, find a store near you at kittyhawk.com.
Santa here at the Christmas shop and general store, where ornaments are everywhere. Stroll down our Cravings and Confections hallway for sweet and savory surprises, coffee, macaroons, hot dogs, even Skittles and popcorn. Then head to the OBX room, just left of the lobby, and grab a personalized ornament to remember your trip. Locally made treasures and holiday magic only at the Christmas shop and general store.
Speeding across the waves was frightening and fun. But to end my adventure here in Currituck, I'm doing something more my speed and joining Corolla Water Sports owner Michael Meredith for a downwind sunset paddleboard excursion.
We're going to go see sunset on paddleboards. We're going to downwind it. We're going to go upwind. Come on back. Goodbye. See, I know how to use one of these. That jet ski thing?
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it was gonna kill me a few times.
Did good though.
So your dad started a water sports company out here?
Yeah, well, we started one at Sandbridge when I was 6 years old, and then we came down here in the late 80s. I think it was 89.
And that just kind of turned into Corolla Water Sports?
Yep, that's it, yep. My family pioneered it. I was lucky enough to be a part of it.
Right.
A lot of the bulk of our business is the motor sports, the jet skis, the boat, pontoon boats and stuff like that, but the paddle sports are, especially stand-up paddleboarding, has taken off a lot recently. And it's cool to come up here in these marshes and stuff because most people don't see this side of it.
So no one's hunting in this right now?
No, not really. It's all in the wintertime.
Okay.
The ospreys nested in it in the spring and summer. You can see them sitting up on there.
Yeah, I see them. Are they gonna buzz us if we get too close?
They might get a little upset. Yeah, there he goes.
So you know we're coming?
Oh yeah, he was talking to you.
I don't speak osprey.
I don't either. But I think he said turn around. Man, that's a pretty sunset.
Isn't it?
It really is.
That's really pretty. Daggone.
It's all about moments, man. All about moments.
Currituck County, North Carolina is split in two by an inland sound. And yeah, the mainland and its barrier islands are connected by a labyrinth of waterways, a handful of bridges, and 2 main highways. But it's more than that. It's a gathering place. It's a place where people connect. Maybe you drifted south across the state line and never looked back. Maybe you were born amongst Currituck's abundance of nature and could never imagine living anywhere else. Or maybe the serene ocean breeze drew you in and you just call it home for now, until the winds of life blow you on to your next journey. It's the moments you share from sunrise over the Atlantic to sundown over the Sound.
Won't you come get lost with me?
This episode of AWOL is brought to you in part by our friends at All Trails, your guide to the outdoors. Hey, hey, won't you come get lost? Won't you come get lost with me? Hey, hey, won't you come get lost? Won't you come get lost with me?
The Christmas Shop and General Store. Personalize your holiday with custom embroidered stockings. Just order at the lobby counter and let our Christmas elves do the magic. Discover our dazzling infinity lights. Check out the barn and stand in awe of the retro vintage Christmas tree surrounded by whimsical ornaments. The General Store has all your sweets, fudge, and unique sauces. So much to see and experience, and it's all waiting for you at the Christmas Shop and General Store.
Let's talk quality. Benchmade quality from American hardwoods and handcrafted in the USA. That's the Benchmade collection from Bassett, exclusively at Outer Banks Furniture. Each piece is meticulously crafted from Appalachian maple, cherry, or oak, and made to order one at a time by American artisans in Bassett, Virginia. From a live edge table to a sharp modern edge, Benchmade has your look. Find the Benchmade collection from Bassett exclusively at Outer Banks Furniture, Milepost 1 in Kitty Hawk.
Capacity to explore a passion while learning from the greatest to ever do it. Reliability to make those who are far away feel like they never left. Speeds for fueling moments of discovery while sparking curiosity. It's not just internet, it's a gateway to opportunities you never even knew existed. Ripple Fiber, multiplying potential for you, your family, and the community.
Officially known as the Land of Beginnings, Dare County, North Carolina has become home to many firsts over the course of the past several centuries. Virginia Dare, the county's namesake, became the first English child to be born in America when she was welcomed to the world on Roanoke Island in August 1587. In December 1903, Dare County became forever famous for being first in flight when the Wright brothers achieved the first successful powered flight from high atop a sand dune in Kitty Hawk. Cape Hatteras National Seashore, the nation's first national seashore, was established in 1937 to preserve a significant stretch of the pristine Barrier Island beaches. And in 1986, Dare County made history once again when the Land of Beginnings became the site of the very first microbrewery in the state of North Carolina, the Weeping Radish Brewery, which was established by a Bavarian trailblazer by the name of Uli Benowitz.
Every single one of us owes it to Uli, because he's the one who started it all, and he made it easy for the rest of us. It was something no one had ever done. Brew beer and sell it from the same location. Never happened in the state of North Carolina.
He was the perfect guy at the perfect time. The fact that he did it way ahead of the curve in a very Bavarian village kind of way, absolutely outstanding. Perfect for the Outer Banks.
It's cool how it's grown, but I think the seed in the earth is old Uli over there at Weeping Radish.
The beginning, the land of beginning, here we go. This is the beginning of microbrewing, and isn't that what we still have on our license plate? I came to America in 1980, came from Germany. In 1985, my brother called me one day and said, a friend of mine has a brewery, I can sell it to you cheap, and you can make real beer in America. I actually got up with Eddie Green from the Christmas Shop. I met with ABC in Raleigh, and they were very nice and listened to what we wanted to do down here. And they said, wow, this is a great idea, never heard of it, but we hate to tell you this, but it's illegal. Before I left the commission with a very sad face, the chairman of the commission said, why don't you go ahead and change the law, and we'll help you do it. At that time, Manteo was well represented politically in Raleigh. We had Mark Basnight in his first years in the Senate. Mark said, whatever, if you want to do it, we'll get it through. In less than 6 months, we had a bill allowing brew pubs to come to the state of North Carolina, which was a fabulous process. On July 4th, '86 is when it all happened. Now everybody knows microbrewed beer, it's no big deal.
Thanks to his efforts to break down the legislative barrier that blocked a craft beer industry from beginning on the Outer Banks, Benowitz not only paved the way for his own successful business, he ultimately made it possible for several other entrepreneurs to follow in his footsteps and build the craft brewing industry that is booming both in Dare County and throughout the entire Tar Heel state today.
And now it just keeps on growing, keeps on booming. And never would have happened if it wasn't for Uli. He really paved the way.
Weeping Radish was #1 in 1986 in North Carolina. We opened up in 2001, 15 years later, and we were 17, you know? So you got about one a year. And now it's 300 something. I stopped counting at 250.
In 2011, I told my wife that I wanted to brew beer for the restaurant. We couldn't keep up. So we decided that we would ask Uli over at the Weeping Radish for some help. And he was incredibly generous to us. He was incredibly nice. He allowed an up-and-coming brewery to come on in and rent space and start brewing beer from him. Now we've had 2 breweries that have started in Manteo.
Despite the rapid growth of Dare County's craft beer industry and the establishment of several new breweries over the past few years, the sense of camaraderie that exists among their founders far outweighs any rivalries among those who are operating within the local craft brewing community.
It's a very welcoming community. We're all in it for the same reasons. We all have the same interests. It's just kind of natural. We all kind of flock together and help each other out. It's not a competition.
That whole thing about competition doesn't really exist here. Everybody here is so busy living, they're not really worried about trying to snatch up your customers. Really, no one's stepping on anybody's toes.
We went from 80 gallons beer at our original location to 1,000-gallon batches here, and we just distribute Dare County. We're busy enough as it is. We're 150 taps up and down the Outer Banks, plus the grocery store, so we're happy. We do have a tasting room over on the Nags Head Causeway. You go through, taste all our beers in there.
The Outer Banks Brewing Station ends up being truly unique because of our wind turbine. We derive about 8 to 10% of our overall electrical needs from our wind turbine.
The brewery is a melting pot, and it's kind of a center point, a little meeting place. From day one, we've made it an objective to make people feel welcome here, and what better way to do that than to give back. Well, we work with the SPCA weekly. We're doing it's all Mondays. A portion of beer sales is going towards them. And then we've joined 1% for the planet. Basically 1% of our total sales go towards Outer Banks Forever, which works with the national parks in the area.
Local beer has become the thing. So we need to appreciate how the change has evolved. It did start right here. We put it on the map in North Carolina. That's the real beginning of it.
Some people say the Outer Banks has the best fishing spots. Some people talk too much. The Outer Banks of North Carolina, conveniently located just beyond compare.
Connected to mainland North Carolina, yet seemingly a world away, Edenton is known as the prettiest small town in the South. Time passes slowly in the state's first colonial capital. The lure of historic sites, outdoor adventure, and friendly people draws visitors from near and far, whether by car or boat. Let our lighthouse be your beacon to a relaxing getaway on the Albemarle Sound. Find your Eden in Edenton, North Carolina, the South's prettiest small town.
At Cook Island, there's no serious anything Cook is to ride on one of these ferries. You can get to the island from several different ferries. Some of them are free, some of them are not free. But the big secret with the ferries is making sure that you go at the right time. But if you're interested in going on the one that's free, timing is everything. On the ferries you pay for, you kind of reserve a spot and a time. If you're getting on the free ferry, well, you get in line. The ferry itself is an experience all by itself. We chose the Hatteras Ferry, which is a free ferry, but we made sure we got there really early. However, when we got off the ferry, it was a whole different story. You could see all the people that were lining up to get on the ferry and get off the island. It was just car after car after car. It was insane. So trust me, timing is everything when using the free ferry, whether it's going to the island or getting off the island. And if you're an entrepreneur, I promise you, if you open a little coffee shop of some kind right at the ferry terminal on the island, you're gonna make a lot of money. All these people are looking for a cup of coffee or a place to hang out. I think the main reason people go to Ocracoke is the sand and the shoreline and everything that comes with that. One of the great things I've experienced about Ocracoke is the beaches aren't crazy busy. They can be windy, but not crazy busy. I'm from Delaware, and when you go to a beach in Delaware, it is insane in the summertime. It's way too busy. In Ocracoke, it's a different ballgame because you got to work to get to the island. And so the masses don't really come, although it is getting more crowded. But the beach, it's just peaceful. Now, if you want to take your beach game up another level, well, rent a boat, and then take your crew out to one of the isolated islands. It's an experience that I can't really describe with words. You truly have to experience it. Of my trips to Ocracoke, I think some of the best moments were the days we rented a boat and we just went and explored. Had no real schedule, no set time, just go out into the ocean and see what you can find. Now, being from Delaware, I'm very fortunate in that we have our own ocean and our own bays and we have our own sandbars. And truth be told, that's one of the more popular things to do in the summertime, especially for locals in the Delaware area. But if I'm being very honest, when you get out of the water in Delaware, you kind of feel like you need to be rinsed off and get all the dirt and nastiness off of you. It's much different in the Outer Banks, and the waters are just clear and beautiful. The island just has this wonderful vibe. There's a lot of historic charm. It's a quaint area. And there's some pretty famous places that you have to go if you ever make it to Ocracoke, like Howard's Pub. If you're into books, there's books to be read. For the artsy folks out there, you got Deepwater Pottery and Craft Gallery. And if you need to get your caffeine or sweet fix, Ocracoke Coffee Company is mandatory. But let's talk a little bit more about the historic side, specifically in regards to pirates. There's a beautiful part of Ocracoke called Springer's Point. It's like stepping into a different world. It's shrouded in legends from pirates to hidden treasures, you name it. It's said to be the notorious pirate Blackbeard's hangout when he was on the island. There's ghost stories about how the pirates can be seen hanging in their hammocks on the trees that line the edge of the beach. There's just this air of mystery that kind of hangs over the place. When you go to Springer's Point, you're not just exploring a place, you're exploring history, nature, and maybe even a little bit of the unknown. Springer's Point starts with just a little parking lot outside the main trail. The main trail to Springer's Point is part of the adventure. It's surrounded by awesome scenery. There's signs that give you an idea of the history, but when you reach the beach, well, that's what it's all about today. It's just a beautiful spot on Ocracoke Island.
That's my YouTube channel. Thanks for 2 subscribers.
If you visit Ocracoke in the summertime, there's going to be people parasailing. They say the view up there is amazing. Our kids this year wanted to verify, so we booked them a trip, and up they went.
Say hi to the camera.
Bye. Oh my gosh.
Woo! All right, we're starting to descend. Ah. Oh. Oh. We dropped so fast.
There we go. Oh! The wind is drying me off fast. How was that?
If you're not into parasailing, you can hang out at Smackin' Alleys right on the water, have some amazing mimosas and a nice brunch. It's a perfect spot to wait for those that did go parasailing. Ocracoke has a fig festival that happens in early August, and we just happen to be there at the right time. You can go and listen to some live local music, buy some knickknacks or some souvenirs from the vendors, and that's all Ocracoke things. You can get one. Think the festival is what it's all about, and it's truly just a wonderful experience. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate it if you share the video. It helps me reach more people and grow the channel and bring you more content just like this. Have a great day, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.
The Outer Banks is unique. When we come down here, we can just relax.
When we were kids, we'd spend as much of the summer here as we could.
It's a lot of fun and cool things to do.
Yeah, I just like the area a lot. Always have.
We've been here in the spring, we've been down here at Thanksgiving, we've been down here at Christmas.
I have been coming here ever since I was a baby. Yep, and every year I love the Outer Banks.
I mean, this is more home to me than where I grew up.
The Outer Banks of North Carolina. Stir the soul.
Whether you're here for a week or one long weekend, explore nature surrounded by the ocean and beside the ones you love. Welcome to the Currituck Outer Banks.